Cristiano Ronaldo is the highest-paid footballer on the planet. After spending the formative years of his show-stopping career with British Premier League powerhouse Manchester United, he made history by moving to Real Madrid for a record transfer fee of €94 million in late 2009. Life was about to change for the 24-year-old Portuguese prodigy.
Well, I expect a different league, of course. I played 6 years in Premier League, and the league is very different than Spanish league. It's more fast, and the players is more strong than here. But here, the league, La Liga, is very competitive as well. The small teams and the medium teams try to play the football all the time. It's very interesting, the league. We have nice players in the league, good teams. It'll be interesting. I'm looking forward for enjoy the La Liga.
Whether he will prove himself worthy of the record-breaking price tag remains to be seen. But there is no doubt that Cristiano Ronaldo is one of the most gifted young players the game has ever seen. Aside from his capacity to lead on the field, he's the ultimate marketing machine. His brilliant game style encourages the younger fans to mimic him in every way. From buying Cristiano Ronaldo boots to copying his hairstyle. And his babyface looks and butter wouldn't melt smile have brought more female fans flocking to the stands. Born on February the 5th, 1985, in Funchal, Madeira, Portugal, the young Cristiano started showing glimpses of his raw talent at just 3 years of age. His passion and natural talent for the game were obvious, and at 12 he went on a 3-day trial with Sporting Lisbon, who signed him for an undisclosed sum. At 16, he really started to blossom. His performance in the UEFA Under-17 Championship drew him to the attention of the wider football world. In the summer of 2003, he caught the eye of Sir Alex Ferguson when Sporting beat Manchester United 3-1 in the inauguration of the Alvalade 21 Stadium in Lisbon. By mid-August, Cristiano had joined the English Premier League club for a transfer fee of €22.2 million. His weekly pay packet increased dramatically, from a respectable €200 at Sporting to €22,000 at United. In short, he was now earning in 1 week what it used to take him nearly 2 years to make. On his arrival at Old Trafford, he modestly requested the number 28 shirt, when he was instead handed the coveted number 7 shirt that had been worn by the likes of George Best, Brian Robson, Luis Figo and David Beckham. He knew beyond any doubt that he had enormous shoes to fill. Far from being intimidated, however, Cristiano saw the honour as fuel for motivation, despite knowing that the expectations of the doubting Manchester United fans would be difficult to live up to. After 39 appearances and 8 brilliant goals, including the opener in the FA Cup final win over Millwall, he was named the Sir Matt Busby Player of the Year for 2003-04. Things just kept improving for the boy who was named after Ronald Reagan. In August, he made his international debut with Portugal, with a 1-0 win over Kazakhstan. The steady performance in his first senior match for Portugal earned him the right to play in Europe's most prestigious international tournament, the European Cup. Not only was this his first international tournament, it also offered him the thrill of playing to packed stadiums in his home country, which was hosting the tournament for the first time. Despite his inexperience at international level, he was looking forward to the challenge.
We know we're going to have hard games, but we have a good group of players and we have a lot of chances to go a long way. That's what we're hoping for.
Despite losing the final to the lesser-favoured Greece, Cristiano did more than enough to impress the critics. Still only 18 years of age, his career was well and truly on track. Cristiano Ronaldo's international career went from strength to strength. After representing Portugal in the 2004 Summer Olympics, he went on to score a massive 7 goals in the World Cup qualifiers, the second highest in the European zone. In 2006, he faced the biggest challenge of his international career, the FIFA World Cup, brought with it huge expectations for the first-timer. Although Portugal's squad boasted many other star players, many Portuguese fans placed their hopes of World Cup success on the shoulders of the young Cristiano Ronaldo. Listed alongside other young superstars, the likes of Wayne Rooney and Lucas Podolski, Cristiano was tipped to win the Gillette Best Young Player award. In the round of 16, he was injured from a high tackle by Dutchman Khalid Boulahrouz. It was the end of his game, and many believed he would miss the remainder of the tournament. However, he proved he was tough as well as talented by returning for Portugal's quarter-final clash with England. After an entertaining first half with both sides missing opportunities, the game suddenly took a turn for the worst when Wayne Rooney was sent off for stamping on Ricardo Carvalho in the 62nd minute. Although not involved in the incident, there was much speculation among the British tabloids that Cristiano had contributed to Rooney's red card by his constant and aggressive complaints to referee Horatio Elizondo. Adding fuel to the fire, television replays showed him winking to the Portuguese bench after Rooney's dismissal. Not surprisingly, the aggression of the English fans towards him raised doubts about his future with Man United. In fact, he told supporters that he was keen to move on, as he felt the circumstances were not right to keep playing there. With his mind made up, it took some persuasive words from Sir Alex Ferguson and Man United assistant manager Carlos Queiroz, as well as a heartfelt plea from Wayne Rooney to keep Cristiano from deserting the Red Devils. That, however, wasn't to be the end of the incident. Just to twist the knife a little deeper, England fans mounted an email campaign against him, and despite playing brilliantly throughout the tournament, he failed to win the FIFA Best Young Player award. However, it wasn't all doom and gloom. Only months after returning, he received back-to-back Barclays Player of the Month honours, becoming only the third player in Premier League history to do so. In that same amazingly eventful year, Ronnie scored his 50th career goal for Man U against local rivals Manchester City. Not only was his brilliant season duly noted by his fans and the club, his performances on field won him the recognition of football followers all over the world. In that single year, he claimed 8 awards, including the Professional Footballers Association Player of the Year, Young Player of the Year, and Fans Player of the Year, as well as Barclays Player of the Season. He also won his second Sir Matt Busby Player of the Year and made 2 All-Star teams. For Cristiano, a glittering 2006-07 season was just a warm-up. In 2007-08, he was on a mission to claim the title as the #1 footballer on the planet, and believed that he could lead Man United through yet another winning season.
I'm very confident. I think the team now is more stronger, and you have a great chance to win not just the Premier League but Champions League as well.
As he lined up alongside his Portuguese teammates for Euro 2008, the soccer world was abuzz with rumours that the young star was about to leave Manchester United and move to Real Madrid for a record transfer fee. Determined not to let all the talk interfere with his playing at the tournament, he decided not to make any announcement until after the competition. Portugal went to Euro 2008 as one of the tournament favourites, thanks to Cristiano's scorching form for Man U during the previous season. Portuguese former football legend Eusebio tried to tone down the pressure on the star midfielder.
He is in the national team, but people should not think only about him.
Não sou jogador que as pessoas têm que só pensar
He's part of a cohesive group in a team where everybody is the same.
Uma seleção que joga todos de igual. E ele a estrela.
He's the star, but he knows what it is to be part of the team.
Comfortably winning through to the quarter-finals after losing just one game to Switzerland in a dead rubber, fans were quietly optimistic when Portugal squared up to international powerhouse Germany.
People can say that Portugal are favourites, but at the moment, not for me. We're in the right path, but it now depends on what is going to happen in the second stage. If we win the next two matches, we will reach the final.
Despite trying to ignore the mounting pressure from the media regarding his possible transfer, Cristiano never quite got on top of his game, finding the back of the net only once throughout the tournament. There was no getting away from the fact that the 23-year-old had plenty to think about. No doubt he was spending lots of time reflecting on how much his life had changed in the 5 years since he signed with Manchester United. And on returning to the EPL, he played inspired football. He scored his first hat-trick for Manchester United in a 6-0 win against Newcastle United at Old Trafford in January 2008, bringing Man U up to the top of the Premier League table. He scored his 23rd league goal of the season in a 2-0 win against Reading, equalling his entire total for the 2006-07 season, with still half the season remaining. On March the 19th, 2008, he captained the team for the first time in a home win over Bolton, even scoring both goals in the 2-0 victory. The first of the goals brought up his 33rd for the season, which set a new club single-season scoring record by a midfielder. In the first leg of the 2007-08 Champions League semi-final against Barcelona, he made all the difference, despite missing a crucial penalty. Sir Alex was more than pleased with his performance.
Maybe asking Wayne Rooney to play a different position and also Jason Park a different type of role from he normally does, put an onus on us more to the defence and the attack. Because I thought in Ronaldo we had the player who could win the match. He was an absolute threat the whole night for us, and I think that if we'd have got the better support from him, I think we would have won.
And Cristiano remained philosophical about the missed penalty.
Well, it's not a problem. Sometimes you score, sometimes you miss. I missed today, no problem. If you have a second opportunity in Manchester, if you have a penalty, I try to score again. Well, the football is like that. Sometimes you miss, sometimes you score, not a problem.
In the Champions League final against league rivals Chelsea, he scored the opening goal after 26 minutes. Less than 20 minutes later, Chelsea equalised, and the match ended 1-1 after extra time. Cristiano was named the UEFA Fans Man of the Match and wrapped up the campaign with a career high of 42 goals across all competitions, falling just 2 short of Van Nistelrooy's team record mark of 44. Once again, he finished the season with a huge trophy haul. He was named the FIFA Pro Player of the Year, as well as FIFA World Player of the Year. He became Manchester United's first Ballon d'Or winner in 40 years, and took out the Barclays Player of the Season for the 2nd year running. He also managed his 3rd Sir Matt Busby Player of the Year, as well as winning the Barclays Golden Boot, the UEFA Champions League top scorer, and the European Golden Shoe, for finishing with the highest amount of goals scored by a European player in club football. Sir Alex was ecstatic with the progress Cristiano had made during the season, and made no bones about calling him the best player in the world.
Well, I think that we have seen the progress of Cristiano this season. It's been absolutely fantastic. I think he's, to my mind, at the moment, is the best player in the world. And I think you know, you can't say that lightly, given there's some fantastic footballers there. And I heard just this morning about Eusebio, and I think everyone at Manchester United wishes him good luck.
He'd also topped the single-season record of 32 goals by a midfielder that had been held for 40 years, by a player with whom he shared some striking similarities. Like Ronaldo, George Best was a football prodigy. His famous fall from grace has served as an effective warning to many players who have had fame and fortune thrust upon them at a young age. While Cristiano has so far managed to keep a grip on his footballing career, he does share some of George Best's off-field traits. His career is still in its early stages, but already Cristiano Ronaldo has been at the centre of plenty of controversy, both on and off the field. Almost before his career had begun, his signing with CD Nacional became the subject of dispute, which would have no doubt made headlines in the local newspapers. With two clubs eager to sign the 11-year-old Cristiano, the larger club, Maritimo, missed an important meeting with Ronnie's manager and consequently lost their opportunity to sign him. As the young prodigy approached manhood, he started making headlines for different reasons. While no one could question his talent and professionalism on the pitch, away from the game, he began to show some poorer form. Of course, there's nothing wrong with enjoying a few drinks with friends after a hard day's work. But rather like former Man U number 7 George Best, Cristiano has been known to take his R&R a few steps further. Consequently, he's found himself mixed up in some rather unsavoury scandals, much to the delight of the British gutter press. News of the World labelled the Manchester United player a prostitute-loving soccer ace, after an alleged sleazy rendezvous with two call girls in Rome. The incident was not entirely out of character for the Manchester United winger. He had also been linked to a wild party where 5 escorts were hired to entertain him and his Portuguese teammate Nani and Brazilian colleague Anderson. The women involved were keen to sell their story to the English tabloids after their unforgettable night with 3 young soccer superstars. That scandal raised the hackles of manager Alex Ferguson, whose beloved Man U pride themselves on being a family-orientated club with morals. On the pitch, Cristiano went on to make international headlines when he crossed boots with fellow teammate Wayne Rooney at the 2006 FIFA World Cup. That very public display of disagreement not only stirred up trouble for the Portuguese player back in England, it also kick-started rumbles that he would leave Man United. Although the rumours were squashed by statements from the club's management and his strong return to Old Trafford, the whispering about a potential transfer never went away. Exorbitant transfer figures were thrown around by members of the media, who made the reasonable assumption that Real would need to part with a record sum of cash to secure the services of the world's best attacking midfielder. Having lost 3 talented midfielders in quick succession to other clubs and retirement, Real were busy developing the side in the wake of the Galacticos days of the early to mid-2000s. They were clearly in desperate need of a marquee player, with the skills and pulling power of a Cristiano Ronaldo. Although the departure of David Beckham would have been sorely felt at the merchandise stands, it was Luis Figo and Zinedine Zidane who left the largest holes in the Super Club starting lineup. If there were one player who could hope to fill the shoes of the formidable Zidane, it would surely be Cristiano Ronaldo, who had scored 42 times from 48 appearances with Man U, and set up countless other goals for his teammates. After Euro 2008, and recovering from ankle surgery, he was open about the possibility of a transfer, and didn't rule out a decision either way. Manchester United, who had already lost a few players to Spanish clubs, needed to stay on top of their game if they hoped to hold on to their number 1 star. However, it wasn't to be. In June 2009, Real Madrid confirmed that Cristiano Ronaldo would be coming to Spain the following month, after signing a record €94 million contract that would make him the highest paid footballer in the world, with a rumoured salary of €13 million a year.
I'm very happy to be the most expensive player in the history of soccer. It gives me a sense of pride, and I will try to show that they paid the right money for me.
Parting from the club he effectively grew up with was sweet sorrow.
Well, I have to say thank you to all supporters, my boss, my friends, my teammates. Because I've been 6 years in the club, and of course I have friends there, good relationship with all people there. But the people will understand my decision, and the people respect that. Of course, it's a great challenge now. The people know my dream is to play in Madrid, and but I'm gonna miss many things in Manchester.
Cristiano's move coincided with the news that Real Madrid had also secured the services of Brazilian superstar Kaká. But despite obvious comparisons being drawn between the two players, his new teammate insisted there would be no attempts to outdo each other.
Não sei ainda qual vai ser o número. Jorge, você sabe?
I think we are compatible players, and we will be able to play together without any problem.
Somos jogadores compatíveis. A gente vai poder jogar junto sem nenhum problema. E fora do campo não vai ter nenhum tipo de rivalidade.
And outside the pitch, there will be no type of rivalry between us because we are both experienced soccer players, winners, and no kind of rivalry exists.
Então esse tipo de ciúme e vaidade entre nós não vai existir.
Swapping the number 7 jersey of Manchester United with the number 9 of the All Whites, he was welcomed into Bernabeu Stadium by 80,000 fans, breaking the record set by Diego Maradona when he moved to Napoli in 1984.
I am very happy to be here.
Since then, Cristiano has gone on to justify his new club's faith in him by breaking a club record to become the first player to score in all 4 of his first La Liga performances. Although his run of great form was temporarily suspended by a minor ankle injury, it was clear that he had already found his feet at Real Madrid.
This is the life, this is my new house, my new club, and I'm gonna give 100% for this club.